Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and the commissioners. And thank you very much for giving me a spot today. I didn't expect this. I just expected to come and meet you. But my name is Gloria Fornes, and I and my husband, Don Fornes, own Home Sweet Home Elder Care in, well, our address now is Horace, but in Fargo. I have some brochures, and I'm going to just ask you, Mr. Johnson, if you pass this around, each take one. We're licensed by the county and the state, and we've been in business ourselves for 3 years. However, the elder care foster home business is not new to North Dakota, but there are only 2 of them in Fargo. And part of the reason that there's so few of them is because it's very hard to get recognized. What we have is a business where we keep the elderly. They live with us 24/7 in our home when they can no longer live alone, but they're not qualified for a nursing home yet. And we have kept people through end of life, and at a much more affordable rate than a nursing home. In fact, we've had several people come from nursing homes and live with us, so we can do the job. We just, when they don't need the skilled care of the nursing home. So I think that we provide a much more affordable business to the people. Their money is going to last a lot longer at our home than it will in the nursing homes, or even in-home care. Now, the concern I have, the problem I have is when I work with the county and the state, mostly the county. I'm going to just give you an example. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of things, statistics that I really don't even have with me today. But just as an example, I got a call one day. They needed someone. They needed a home for someone. And I went to another nursing home and met the fella, and he needed showering and dressing and toileting. He'd had a stroke, and so he needed a lot of services. Cass County offered me $16 a day to take care of him. I am required to hire QSPs, and they get $16.64 an hour to come and work for me. So if I'm out of my home, I have to pay $16.64 an hour for somebody to take care of 4 people. I can only have 4 people, but if I'm getting $16 a day, I can't afford to be gone, to be out of the house. I'm just asking for some ideas. I've talked to some of the representatives, some of the legislators, and they either had never heard of an elder care home and think it's a really good idea, and I think it's a great idea. I think if it could be more feasible, we'd see more of them. Throughout the whole state of North Dakota, there's only 62 of them. And what I charge for a private pay is $100 a day, and that's 24/7, and that's all services. And that same person went to a nursing home, which I said several of them had already. One of them was paying $8,000 a month, and at $100 a day. My home is $3,000. So I guess I'm asking for some ideas as to how I could work with the county. I want to work with the county because I don't have a real big advertising budget either. So I'm I'm not in competition with the nursing homes. I have a business all of my own, and when they need the skilled care, the nursing homes will get them. But I'm wondering if I'd like to work with the county at getting a little better pay from them. I'm topped out at $70 a day. I do have somebody, I have had somebody that, and I have made $70 a day. And love the lady, but she's a lot of work. She's a 24/7 person. And or I'm thinking about a tax break. So if you don't mind, I've asked Mary Tintus to come with me. Her mother lived with me for about 15 months, and I think she'd be a good advocate for me.
Thank you, Commissioners and Chairman. I wasn't prepared for this today, but I appreciate the opportunity to share a story. About a little more than a year ago, my 97-year-old mom, who was living independently, suddenly lost her eyesight. She was still very, very capable, very independent and healthy, but she couldn't live alone. Well, we looked at many of the beautiful facilities in the area, the assisted living, etc. And with Mom's help in making this decision, we chose Home Sweet Home. Mom was able to have the privacy that she liked to have, and yet there was someone there to offer assistance when she needed it. Many times I would stop out in the evening to visit, and I would find Mom sitting on the couch with another lady, might be Gloria, might be one of the other ladies, holding hands, dozing, watching TV, and her other hand on the Lucy, the family dog. They eat around the table like family. They take little outings. Mom even had a garden out there this summer. And my mother passed away around Christmas time at age 98, and she passed in her own bed there in Home Sweet Home. So it's a beautiful alternative, and I don't think a lot of people know about it, but I think it's an opportunity that many people could replicate in their homes across the state, especially with our increasing aging population. So as I sat around the table too, many times an extra place setting would be put out for me when I would show up, and we'd sit around and visit. Then I began to discover that there were some challenges that Gloria and Don were facing, and I suggested they needed to talk to people who knew more about this than I. And so that's why she is here today, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you as well.
Thank you, Mary. In chatting with Don and Gloria before the meeting, I asked if this was a for-profit or not-for-profit Home Sweet Home, and it is for-profit. However, they did tell me that it's far from profitable, with the rates. So, they are not structured for property tax relief or anything like that, but obviously we certainly understand the struggles. I obviously, since you mentioned Cass County Social Services, and you have at least visited, I would imagine, with those folks.
The issue of the tax break and so forth being a non-for-profit, state guidelines regarding what assessed value is and where we need to be. I think that's pretty rigid there. But to the issue of, I guess, I've been going on 11 years on the County Social Services Board, and being familiar with home-based services, this is something new to me. I think it may be a primer by the Social Services Board on this. It seems this issue, at least getting some background so we kind of understand it, and if there's a way, we are the designee, and sometimes I think the county is looked at as the county providing this, the funding, but really we're a pass-through, and it's a mandate to administer from the state. But with an ongoing legislative session, maybe this is an opportune time that the next social services meeting, we could at least have a background, invite them back and have it scheduled, and maybe from a staff level we can kind of get a breakdown of what the different fees are, the structure and dynamics of this program, and if there's some assistance, I guess, in terms of with a legislative session going on the reimbursements, to at least have that conversation. That would be helpful, and maybe the better vehicle to at least an eye-opening process and giving some clarity of where it should go. beyond the financial issue from a county perspective. If we maybe could put it on a social services agenda, that'd be helpful.
That's an excellent idea. Commissioner Pollock has the portfolio, and if we could ask maybe the next meeting or somewhere in the near future that we could maybe
For a further update on
maybe discuss this.
Sure.
I don't think we're going to solve the problem today or give you an answer today, but I think you brought something to our attention that, quite frankly, I'm very impressed with what you are doing, Don and Gloria. You obviously have big hearts to take on this type of responsibility, and you certainly aren't doing it for the money. So we do thank you. I'm glad you have the brochures here. It helps me understand, what you do, and we certainly thank you for bringing it to our attention, and we will discuss it at a future social service board meeting. Commissioner Pollock.
Thank you. And a comment for Mr. and Mrs. Fornes, and that is, it appears that you're in District 22, and your legislators in District 22, if that's so, would be Wes Belter, Gary Lee, and Bonnie Peach. And this is a pretty important piece of information that you've provided us. We don't have a lot of authority to affect much of a change, but the state legislature does, and really every person that you do probably saves the state about triple the amount that you're reimbursed. And I think it's an important message to give to those individuals, and I would urge you to do that.
Mm-hmm. And we've invited many of them out to our home, to view our home, and yeah, they like what they see, and when they leave, they say, well, we will support you. Then I don't hear too much about it after that, so. But I guess I want to tell you too, I so appreciate your letting me talk. And back to the question that if the client doesn't qualify for my house, if I won't accept somebody for $16 a day, they're going to a nursing home. They are going to go to a nursing home, and that's going to be more than $16 a day. So, because I have followed up with the families, and that's where they wind up. But I want to tell you too, we love what we do. Right now I wouldn't do anything else. Yeah, but it's not a piece of cake, but I'd like to have you all come out for some pie.
Thank you.
So,
I would say that if I ever qualify for these services, I'd like to reserve a spot
keep
right
our
now.
brochure, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.